Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome one and all. Today is September 19, 2023. This is episode 145 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am CQ. That's what the little box says. That is true. You know it's true. And joining me tonight, our fabulous man in the bubble. He's the Marine with the mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mad Mike. Hey.
I'm here.
When I tell you folks
I
that
had 2 weeks to come up with that.
he got here like 13 seconds ago. So
Right.
he's literally sliding in safe at home base just in time. Man, we're excited. Today's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Oh, it's our favorite day of the week. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
I feel like I haven't feel like we haven't
run
chatted.
over here, and I had to plug all this crap in really quick. You're calling me. Are you coming?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you know, some people prep and get ready ahead of time, but you know, others just, you know, plug things in.
People have a bunch of stuff to do. Jesus.
You have only one thing to do Tuesday nights, and that's get your ass right here to the show. Hey, what's going on, Phil? Let's say hi quick to people that have tuned in. I see Phil.
Hi, people.
Hi, people. I see Angry Elves in the chats, man. God bless you. Appreciate you, brother. Jeremy Daniels, the Sports Bar. I see you laying your jokes. Let's see. Phil wants to know what's his favorite flavor of crayon. There you go.
Oh, like a good red.
Good red. I like that. A good red flavor. Hey, is that Nicole? It's really tiny reading. Nicole Leah? Yeah, Nicole. I'm gonna go with Nicole. Hey, Nicole. And how does he feel about full frontal male nudity? We are.
What do you mean?
We are for it.
Titillated.
Yeah, we are for it. We are absolutely for it.
Who isn't for it? That's what I want.
Right. That's what we want to know. Okay, let's see. What else do we got going on? Oh man, so much to talk about tonight. We'll cover some news and some headlines and things in the first hour. I'm thinking second hour we'll play some games. We just play some games. Have some fun. Let's
Play
see.
games.
Yeah, you want to play some games? Fuck around and
We'll
find
play
out.
games.
You
Call me
want to
when
play
you're
games?
ready.
I play games. Let's see. No guest tonight. Like I was saying, we'll do some games or something. Couple of house cleaning things, man. What have we been up to since last week? Last Thursday, you know, son of a bitch, I didn't post any pictures of it. I got to do that. I got to post pictures of it. I was at the Wounded Warrior Project annual Courage Award benefit gala. I don't know what the hell they call it, but I was at that thing. And it was a great time. Does great things for a great
Do
cause.
you know anyone that's ever won that award?
I may or may not know someone who's won it.
Let's see, it's in the background. They're pan over a little to the. Am I
It,
right?
it may be right back there. Ken Cook, how great are the Dallas Cowboys? We're not going to talk about the goddamn Dallas Cowboys.
They're playing the Special Olympics. Get out of here. Delete that guy. You beat the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
It's like
we'll
punching a
see.
handicapped person in the face and saying you're 1-0 in boxing.
Yeah, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. People got to take what they can get. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. As
Why
a
are your
Giants
eyes so watery?
you laugh about it, or you cry about it, or like me, you do both. Yeah, I was at the Courage Awards. It was a great time. It was so cool, man. It was hosted by former NFL quarterback and current ESPN analyst Robert Griffin III. RG3 was the host. Very nice guy. We talked backstage because I was presenting one of the awards. So we got to talk backstage. Very nice guy, very humble guy. Talked about how his parents were both in the army. They were both in the army, both deployed
Sorry.
at different times. Of course you are. You are sorry. You know what? You are sorry.
Some people have to be mediocre.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, so we had a great chat and told him about a little sports program run by a veteran over at WTF Nation Radio. So we exchanged info and we'll see. Maybe something comes of it. Maybe something doesn't. We never know. Funny enough, so when I was at the event, okay, this is a true story. True story. I got early and it was gonna be a late night, so I got a hotel. This was in DC, so I got a hotel, and I found one that was like a block or two from the venue. And when I was checking in, I shit you not, I'm checking in, I'm talking to the person and whatnot, and I hear this little old lady voice that literally says the following: "Aren't you the pop culture guy?" And I froze. And I my eyes had to been like saucer plates because so many things are running through my mind all of a sudden. And I turn around and it's this little old lady. And I'm just like, she has to have me confused with someone else, but that is so on the nose. How could it not be? And I was like, this is my response. I think so. Like that, maybe.
You know how to use the internets, lady, because we're not on PBS.
But it turns out it's this woman that I had met like a year ago. I was it was another benefit event and whatnot, and a year ago I had met her and her son, and me and her son had struck up a conversation because her son had done some acting, like he venture capitalist, whatever, but he's also done acting and like background stuff. And so we were just kind of connecting over the entertainment industry and talking about movies and things like that. And so literally I was like, yeah, oh my God, yeah, like great memory. I can't believe, blah, blah. She goes, oh, hold on. And she like starts rummaging in her purse. And then she pulls out this, which let's see if I can get that on camera. There it is. There it is. That's a picture of me and her son at the event from last year. And so I thought it was very odd that she, again, not knowing that I would be there. It's not like she knew I was going to be there.
Carries it around.
But she just carries around the
No
picture.
idea that like 6 people watch this show. She thinks you're super famous. Look who I know.
I mean, it's like,
okay,
why,
old lady.
why does no one recognize this picture I show them? Yeah. Hey, Keith, what's going on, brother? Yeah. So, dude, I had a moment of fame.
It's twice. Isn't it like twice now?
I mean, if I'm being
down
honest,
here, right?
if I'm being honest, maybe fourth time, because I got recognized once at a event. Where was that? Somewhere, but it was a lot of veterans there, and one of them, I guess, followed WTF Nation Radio, and approached me. Another time when I was down in Florida, we were at WasabiCon. Was it a year or two ago? We were at WasabiCon, and someone came up to the table. Oh my God, my husband's a big fan. And then there was another one. Oh, wait, at AwesomeCon, we had one of our fans' wife was at AwesomeCon and spotted me as we were walking through AwesomeCon, and then this. So a handful. I you know, funny story. Angry Elf put in, "I'm Ron Burgundy." So funny story about this. So and it's crazy that he would do that quote, not knowing the situation. I was at the event, and before the event, because you're going to speak and present, they have you do a dry run, and like there's teleprompters and everything, very fancy, very formal. So you're reading off the teleprompters and things. There was a major like typo in the teleprompter, and I read it so like Ron Burgundy. I read it word for word, and it was like, what was it? It's like, and here to present Johnson and Johnson for the award is, and it was like, it was all out of order, but I fucking hit it note for note. And then and here's the funny thing. So the lady
Why is he
goes,
screaming it? It's like he put 3 exclamation marks.
but here's the funny thing. So there was like this, like the lady that was doing the dry run, and she goes, "Oh, sorry. There's an error in the teleprompter. Just read it that here to present the award, blah, blah, or here to accept the award is Johnson Johnson's whatever." And I went, "Okay," and then I hit it exactly the same way again. And she
Nailed
goes,
it.
No. She goes, no. Remember, it's the thing. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was like, you know what? Let me just do that sentence over. And then I did it again. I could not read it as it was on the screen.
She's
And
like,
she literally
"These
looks at me.
freaking people are like so retarded. Freaking army, man."
And she looks at me. She
so
goes,
retarded.
She goes, "You know what? We'll fix it on the prompter. We'll fix it on the
Get
prompter. It's
someone
fine."
else. We'll have RG3 do
And
it.
I literally walked off, and I'm like crying to myself because I'm like, "Oh my God!" And I went like, "I'm Ron Burgundy." Like, and literally the guy that was running like the teleprompter, he laughed. So I was like, "Yeah, you get the
He's
joke."
doing it on purpose. He's like, "Bloop, I'll fix it." Bloop.
Oh man. So yeah, bro, I was cracking up.
It
And
would have been better if you just like they fixed it and then you did it live and then you did the same way.
Did it the same way.
Did it 4
Oh
times rehearsal.
man. So yeah, so that was that. It was a great night, wonderful night, lots of amazing people, and raised money for a great organization. And
That's why we don't have good notes on this show. Just highlights of words. It's like 2
Yes.
words together.
I just put vowels and consonants together to try to get this show
Use whole
going.
sentences, 'cause-
But anyway, and then shit, I do owe. I promised I was gonna put on my Patreon channel. I'm working on this secret thing behind the scenes. It's gonna take some time to fully develop. It's gonna be a slow process, but it's gonna be so worth it in the end. And I said I was going to kind of reveal what it is to the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, I'm going to reveal everything, lots of behind the scenes, and there will be some freaking wicked ass, I don't know what you want to call it, benefits. And like if you're a Patreon follower, you're going to get some really cool stuff out of it.
Sounds like you're starting up OnlyFans.
It's kind of like that.
Which you could subscribe to too.
Yeah,
Put the link.
exactly.
Put the link up there.
Exactly.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working on it. Working on it.
Unless you ask.
Honestly, bro, I'll be honest. I've been slipping on so many things. Show related, personal related, work related, because Starfield's got me fucked up. Let me tell you something. It is video game heroin. It's video game fentanyl. because I am so addicted. Like right now, I'm just thinking about where I left off and the next thing I have to do, and it's so it's so good. It's so damn
Plus,
good.
it's like you load in your game and it's like, holy shit, 30 minutes has already passed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, well, it's not an issue of like loading time. Loading times are quick.
No,
But no,
so
it's
says
just
the game.
yeah, bro. I played had to have been 6 hours today, and I got like one mission done because I was just like, oh, shiny thing, oh, shiny thing, oh, shiny thing, and I just could completely get off track, and man, it's fun. Keith says I'm going to part of my reveal is the F-35 giveaway. I found it and I'm gonna do the giveaway. Yes, that's Patreon only. Patreon only. Can't talk about that. That's Patreon only. No giveaways. Don't give it away. I'm gonna give it away. Don't you give it away. Let's see.
It's good to know the federal government doesn't have GPS trackers.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking Amazon does.
Someone was like $80 million and you didn't fucking drop an Apple AirTag in that bitch. I was like, that's good. That's good.
Right?
Gotta AirTag that bitch. What else? Yeah,
That guy to just eject out and close his eyes. I don't want to see where it went.
No, but well, apparently, and I read somewhat into it. He turned on autopilot first, then ejected, and so he just watched it fly off into the horizon. It didn't go down. They think it's still flying somewhere, which I'm like, it's been 2 days. These things refill after like 6 hours. How is it still flying after 2 days? That shit's on eco mode.
Shit flew to Africa. It's like crashed in this
like,
or something.
All we need to find out is like, well, it's the prototype where the wings are like solar panels. So it's just
charged.
It's a satellite now. It's just circling the earth.
Videos where the guys are on the boat and then they fall out. It's just like going around.
What I want it to be so much is, remember the Chinese hot air balloon bullshit that we dealt with? I want China to have an F-35 just slowly
keep circling,
slowly floating over their country, and they're all just tracking it. Oh, that would be great. Oh man. Keith says they found it last night. Hey, if they found it, where was it? I'm curious. I haven't kept up with the news. Keith says they found it. He says Angry Elf says the F-35B is closer to $101 million. Oh, excuse me. I was off by 21 million. But yeah. Oh, real quick, follow up on the story last week. We were talking about the iPhone 15 release, and they were talking about the prices and whatever. I will say I went and had got me one. I'm not one of those guys that gets one every year when it comes out. I think we were on the 11, so a good 4 or 5 years since my last new one. But I can't speak for everybody, every company out there. Verizon's running a hell of a deal. I don't know how these people make money, because I'm trading in my 11, which is so old. And even when I got it was like the lowest memory, the lowest, it wasn't like the Pro Max, whatever. It was like the regular 11, no bells and whistles, lowest memory. And they're going to basically give me the 15 for free. Like there's like $1,000 credit, which after taxes is like, you end up paying like maybe $100, less than that. But I'm getting the phone for free. Then I'm trading in my watch, and they're giving me enough credit that like the new Series 9 watch is only like $100. And then they also threw in a brand new Apple tablet for free. And then even because they divide, like even the $100 you owe for the phone and all that, they divide it over like 36 payments, which is weird. So even spread out all over that, with the new plans that came out for Verizon, I'm actually paying less per month. Like my phone's been paid off for a while, but even adding on the whatever payment, and me and my wife got it. So me and my wife both got the phones, both got the Series 9 watches, and we got the Pros, the iPhone 15 Pro, Series 9 watch was the new one, and then the new tablets, and my monthly payments are going to be less than what they currently are, which is, I don't know how they make money. I don't know.
It sounds like you were being overcharged before.
Wow. I
Um,
mean,
or
I
they change something, and the next thing you know, we're gonna be like, "Why is my bill 3 times?" And it's like, well, we bill you by the second
$38,000.
now.
$38,000.
We went back to minutes. Like what?
Scott says, damn, they realized you were a nominee for Podcast of the Year, which it wasn't Podcast of the Year, as much as I'd love to say that. It was for Best in Entertainment of the Year. Podcast of the Year is technically a different category. But yes, I was a nominee for Best in Entertainment for the year. And now that they're giving you stuff, basically a Verizon ad. Yeah, I mean, I wish.
Ah, the big time. The big time.
Oh man, I wish. So Angry Elf says the debris was discovered about 2 hours northeast of Joint Base Charleston in North Charleston. Okay, so there you go. They did recover the debris or discover the debris. There you go. I like the story better when it's just out there somewhere. I like this. I like that. I like that version way
Well,
better.
it's the autopilot doesn't work apparently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can only autopilot for as long as it has gas, and then it becomes auto land very, very hard, right into the ground. It's auto
Right where he
fucking
was,
straight
so
down.
Basically, he ran and shit and then just bailed out.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. For New York Comic Con, man, I'm excited. You're going to be there on Saturday. I will be there Thursday through Sunday. I am super excited. This will be the most content I've ever produced at a convention. We're gonna film, obviously, walking around, stuff like that. I already have interviews lined up, and it's also like the first time ever I have interviews lined up ahead of time, which is crazy.
You prepared?
Yeah, we're actually prepared for this. We are maintaining strike rules, so I will not be interviewing any actors or writers as per, but we have some lined up with book writers, authors, artists, producers, directors, and a bunch of other some toy makers, like just a bunch of stuff, a lot of industry background stuff. So I'm very excited, very, very, very excited. We're going to continue working on our little behind the scenes project and things. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be legit. I'm very, very, very excited. If you like anime, there's going to be a ton of that stuff, games, ton of that stuff, toys. Maybe we can go live. Maybe we can do, Saturday night, as we are wiped out from a full day of the convention, we sit and we like go to some corner pizza store, and me and you can go live from like our cell phones and talk about the day and things like that. So that should be fun. It should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Anything specifically, because it's been a couple years since you've been in New York Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, what was the last one?
10 or more. It's been a while.
Because we did 13, 14, 15, something like that. So it's been a minute. I've done a couple more since then, but I know you haven't been there. Is there anything particular you're looking forward to checking out at the con?
No.
I
don't know what they had. The last time I was there was when they had like Marvel and DC and all that, and now they all do their own thing because they're too cool.
Yeah. They have a presence, just not as big as they used to.
Yeah, they're not doing what they were doing. But,
yeah. Because you still got Artist Alley. You still got, obviously a lot of vendors. Lots of vendors. Mm-hmm. There's gonna be panels. Panels galore. There's gonna be tons of panels. And because we have press passes this year, we can pretty much get into any panel we want. So if there's anything, you got to look through the schedule, and if there's anything you want to do, we gotta put that aside so we can do that. It's always just really cool to see what they come up with and all the stuff that they do for it. If anybody out there if there's something specific you want to see at Comic-Con or something you'd like us to cover, please let me know. I'd be happy to. I know a good buddy of ours is really big into the anime stuff, so I'm going to be checking that stuff out and looking to see what's there and report back. So if there's anything you guys are really into or really want to see, or any companies that are gonna be there, any whatever, please let us know. I will say, you know me, Mike, I never pay money for like autographs or pictures or any of that stuff. This is the first year I was looking through the guest list. There's a bunch of people going to be there. One of the people was Chris Evans, and I for a minute considered like Captain America, that'd be dope. You know, I got the shield. I could take the shield, have him sign it. Like, that'd be pretty dope. Before I could even decide one way or the other, they were sold out. Like, that sold out so fast.
It's like so fast.
So fast. Now, even like, but then I looked at the price, and that was like, oh shit, because it was like $280 for an autograph or a picture, which is astronomical. Like, I mean, that is crazy. But I get it. He's very popular. I understand. It's still crazy. Anything over $200 just seems like a ridiculous amount of money. That being said, just a few days ago, they announced a last-minute addition to the New York Comic-Con lineup, and Loki himself, Tom Hiddleston, will be at New York Comic-Con. And once again, I was like, I got a couple of Loki things out there. I got the staff, and I got the thing. I was like, maybe for the first time ever, I'll pay. And then, wouldn't you know, $260 for an autograph or a picture. And I'm just like, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't. I'm in a lucky enough position where that wouldn't hurt me in the sense of like financially. I won't be, you know, looking for my next meal if I spend that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as just the principle of it, I cannot.
It's absurd. Like, you guys, like, they made a ton of money already.
Yeah.
Like, a shit ton of money. And you're like, that's a lot. For what? Your signature and a picture? Like, come on, man.
Or one.
That's
or
like a
the
baseball
other.
player. Like, oh, you want me to sign your ball, little kid? $250.
Right.
Like, they put in the work too. They put in more work.
I
And they're not charging people. You're just showing up and you're collecting all that money. The booth is what? You mean $100 a day, probably? And then the con gets to advertise it, so they probably give it to you for free. I mean, it's all profit. They don't pay anyone a percentage or anything. It's just,
I mean, you know, it's
a ripoff.
It's
$20,
tough.
$50 tops. Come on, man. Especially in this economy.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I get it if you're some small, like, nobody, like, oh, I was in the background. But so you guys made millions of dollars off all this crap. Like,
it's
give
hard.
a little back to the little people.
And I'm only gonna say that, like, part of me gets it because, okay, you're right. Your lower level person, and I hate to say it that way, but someone who's less recognizable or less well known, they're gonna pay for their booth space, right? And because, you know, being there is gonna be advertising for them and everything. When you get someone like Chris Evans, you know for a fact New York ain't charging him. In fact, they're paying his hotel,
and
they're paying his flights, they're paying him X amount of dollars, and he gets to keep all whatever he makes. Now, for someone like Chris Evans, I will say guaranteed, because it's just part of their publicity and they're part of their keeping things under the books, that like a percentage will go to charity. They always donate a percentage of whatever they make. Another thing is, like, he has a team with him. Because he's gonna have like his publicist, his agent, and then, you know, obviously he'll fly out his family and things like that. So like, there is an expense for him. Again, do I think I think 150 with the amount of people that he's going to see, 150 would still be plenty. But again, we digress. It is what it is. Let me ask anybody out there that's watching, what is the most you'd be willing to pay for an autograph or picture, and who would that person be that you would pay that money? I'd really like to know. Mike, we'll start with you. What is the most you'd be willing to pay, and who would that person be? It could be sports, music, it could be anything.
I would never pay over $50, but the only people I would ever pay even that for, Michael Keaton, or like you did with Michael J. Fox and those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially MJ, because he's my wife actually wants to see him.
Yeah.
Probably gonna die any day now, but yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't think there's any.
Ever tell you about the
like
time
I would
I
do
met
it for
someone?
Michael J. Fox. I don't even know if I would do it for Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such like I don't like. I work so hard for my freaking money. I'm not gonna give it away some schmuck like who's not even gonna like. Hey, okay, here you go, and then like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
it's
sports people, like I'll never pay for. It's like if I see them and then they sign it, they sign it. If not, it's like whatever. I don't know.
Let's see. Keith says he paid $200 for Shatner years ago when I thought he'd be gone soon.
Yeah. We were there when Shatner was there. He was charging $500, and so was Stallone. It was ridiculous.
Well, and I think Hulk Hogan was there, and he was charging like $450, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
we met him for free.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jason David Frank slid us in to meet Hulk.
Yeah,
soft hands for a big guy. Very soft hands.
It's not the only soft thing he had. Anyway, so Beth says I would pay to meet Pink. I'd pay $300. I'd say $300, but I'd probably impulse buy it if it was higher. Yeah, I can get that. I can see that. Here's okay.
Like $300 with a concert, or just $300?
I think that she's saying just for the
with the concert.
No,
I get it.
Dude, the ticket for some of those prices are the ticket. The price for those tickets is like $300 to $500.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can stream it on YouTube for free.
He had Keith says I had Anthony Starr, so that's Homelander from The Boys. He signed 4 Boys blanks at $80 a piece. I mean, $80 seems a bit high for Anthony Starr, but I get it. He's at the peak of his popularity. Like, okay, side tangent, but when I look at, like, if I were to pay for someone, like, I'd want them to have a legacy,
a catalog,
right? Catalog of work where you're like, man, this is, you don't just want that, because otherwise you get that one person that you're like, oh my God, you're the hit in this store, and then they never work again. And it's
like the dude, the long-haired guy from Sons of Anarchy. It's like, people were probably paying $300.
Yeah,
and it's like now he's like over. He's over there with Ernie Hudson and the boys in the back.
We're like Giancarlo Esposito, right? I mean, Breaking Bad, The Mandalorian, Better Call Saul, his video game voices, he's doing all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can see like he's got some cred, some, especially in the pop culture world. Obviously Michael J. Fox is a legend, all these, big names.
Oh, know who I would pay for? I would pay for Gary Oldman. That guy has a freaking legacy.
Gary Oldman. That's a good pull. That's a good pull. And here's the funny, you said Michael Keaton. He might start doing some cons because, again, we're not talking about Hollywood stuff, but he's got stuff that's coming up soon. And you tend to see these guys promote, especially here's the sneaky thing about it, because they're not allowed to promote work, but they can attend conventions as themselves. So like, I have a feeling Tom Hiddleston had no plans to go to New York Comic Con, but because a certain show, we won't talk about it, is coming out, I guarantee you, here's the shady business dealings of the thing. He can't do any promotion work, but guarantee you a certain company can absolutely pay to fly him out, put him up, and do all that stuff, and pay him just to make a personal appearance even though he's not promoting work. So it's shady, man. All like the more I'm reading up on like oh man, oh there's another thing. Again, side tangent. I was reading this. So like Netflix and companies like Disney and all these, um, a lot of times you'll see them rebrand shows, or give like like when they like a show does the title and then like a colon, and then like a new thing. So man, I don't want to talk about shows. Daredevil was on their Netflix, and now we're getting Daredevil Born Again. Did you know the reason for that? It's not to say, oh, we're going to differentiate between this and that when it was the same actors and all that. The reason they do that is contractually, if a show gets 3 seasons or more, everyone's supposed to get bonuses. Everyone's supposed to get like vacation. Like everybody's supposed to get like all these packages. So contractually, if they change the name of the show, it basically resets the contract to a season 1 status. So
Okay.
companies don't have to pay them the bonuses, the extras, or give them any of the perks because it's a whole new show. Even though it's not like this, it's some shady shit, man. It's some shady shit they be doing. So yeah, so again, pay these fucking people what they deserve, because that's some shady ass business dealings, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, New York Comic Con, we're excited. There's gonna be a lot of people there. There's gonna be, Ron Perlman's gonna be there, man. Fucking that dude's Hellboy, Sons of
Yeah,
Anarchy,
I think he was
all this
there when
stuff.
we were there before.
Yeah. I love that dude. He's just so no nonsense. I love it. Love it. Yeah. Scott Rosa said Hayden Christensen kind of meets the description where he's Anakin and name another one of his characters, where it's like,
Right?
like I know he's done a couple of other things. I've seen him in that one movie where he was like getting surgery and then like died but didn't die, or was out of body experience or whatever it was. I don't know, but he's done stuff. But it's like it's the
Nothing there.
one
You're like,
note
oh
pony.
my god, that was so great.
Yeah. But let's see. What else? So we talked about that.
I got something. If
Yeah,
you
go
have
ahead.
time.
What you got?
So I was surfing the internet, and I never heard of this game. You probably did.
Okay.
Alan Wake 2. Did you ever hear of
Alan
it?
Wake. Yeah,
Supposed to
Alan
come out?
Wake. Alan Wake is a hugely popular series. It's one of those games where it was so huge and yet they didn't really make sequels of it, because like the first one came out with like I think the original Xbox.
It said 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
So they did like the main game, then they did like a DLC, then they did like a remaster a couple years later, but that's really it. Now it's also the same developers have made other games, like Control was one of the games they've made. And
okay.
if you look into the lore, they're actually all in the same universe. So like Alan Wake, Control, and I think there's a third game series that in the lore, like you'll find like you'll find the little notes and things that they reference each other. It's all made by the same studio,
Okay.
so they're all supposed to be in the same universe. So technically, you can go, well, all those games are linked and whatever. But yes, Alan Wake proper, great. I mean, great concept for a game. A writer, and like he's living the experience of the written word, like of the pages and all that. Very, very cool experience. I remember the first game and being much younger and being like, fucking, this is terrifying,
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, talk about what you see.
Yeah, it's so apparently they have part 2, and then actually, like, I was like reading it and watching it, and I was like, oh my god, it comes out in October. It's supposed to come out October 26th. But they have like no gameplay footage. I guess it's already been pushed back a couple times, and
Yep.
people are upset. But it looks like an awesome freaking game. You're like, it's FBI agent or something,
Yep.
and you're like searching
for Alan Wake. Yeah,
you're you go like in the woods, and then some dude will be there, and you like interrogate him and stuff. It's pretty freaking awesome. It seems like.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like 2 FBI agents, and I think one of them is actually Alan Wake or something like that.
I think they're on the hunt for Alan Wake. I think is what they're
They're on the
doing.
hunt for Alan Wake.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's two
The two
guys, and they're
characters.
following the notes that lead them into this kind of forest, and they're hunting, and like again, back when I was first reading about it, there was a lot of promises like, and this is the buzz thing that your choices will matter, like what you do in the game matters, and while I feel like a lot of games promise that, a lot of it's like good ending or bad ending, and it's like there's not really as much choice as they kind of pretend that there is. There's usually 2 or 3 outcomes at best, but I did see when they first announced it and they showed like some teaser stuff. It looked cool, man, because I remember, I think part of what made the original so scary is the graphics weren't the best. Like at the time they were good, but like you're like, oh, what's that shit moving in the shadows, because it's all black pixelated.
It's all blurry,
It was
it's
so
freaking
now when
evil.
it's crystal clear HD, I don't know. Like, does that make it scarier? Does that make it less scary? I don't know. So we'll see how
Looks
that
cool.
plays
It's supposed
out.
to be two worlds. I think at one point you actually are Alan Wake, like
Yeah.
in his like book view or whatever. I think it's in what they said, New York or something.
Yeah.
But that's probably just like a little whatever, one couple things, and then you go back in. But I don't know, it looks pretty cool. Kind of excited.
Mm.
And then I don't know if you hit on it, but they also had Wolverine for PS5. They had some stuff on that on the internet.
Yeah, yes. The same company that's behind the Spider-Man games is working on the Wolverine game, and it's very, very interesting to say the least. They're promising. It's interesting because they're not going straight comic books, but they're not going straight movies. They're kind of charting their own path, kind of like what the Spider-Man games did, where there's a lot of references to different things, but they're kind of charting their own path. They've promised a very mature feel. Like this is not
Yeah.
going to be like this is going to be. You know what's funny? The
They didn't want it like
Wolverine.
the RPG type where it's like, okay, your turn. Whoosh.
Yeah, exactly. There was a Wolverine game before. It was released for the movie release, Wolverine Origins, which the movie was terrible, but people don't remember that game was awesome. Like the Wolverine Origins video game, he had procedural damage, so like literally you would soak up bullets and like chunks of your body would fall off, and like you would see this like the silver skeleton and shit, and then he would heal in real time. So like you would see the muscle and then the skin, and
That's cool.
like, and it was violent. Like he would straight up, you would chop people's arms and heads off, and like it was a good game for that time. It was actually a really, really good game, and it's long overdue that they make just a. I mean, when you have successes like Mortal Kombat, what makes you think you can't make just a brutal, violent, just gory Wolverine game? And you just have him go. It'd be one of the bosses could be Deadpool, and the two of them are just hacking away at each other, regrowing, hacking away at each other again, regrowing, and just doing that over and over again until something. But Scott wants to know: have you heard about the PlayStation handheld thing? Oh, don't get me started on that. Oh my God, don't get me started on that. I was for a minute very excited about it because when they teased it as a PlayStation handheld, which we've had the PSP and the PS Vita and all that, but it was a PlayStation handheld where you could play your PlayStation games. So they made intentionally it sound like the Nintendo Switch, where it is a portable version of your PS5. And I said straight up, I'll buy that. I'm not going to buy a PS5. I'm not. But give me a portable version, I'd buy it, right? Because it's got to be cheaper than the actual system itself. It's got to be. But what it is not that. It is kind of like that in that you can play your games portably, but you have to be connected to your PlayStation.
What?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, my PlayStation's there, and
So if you
I
gotta
don't
go
want to play
take
on
a
TV.
dump,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I gotta go take a shit, and then you pull out the thing. That's
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. Or like I get it, or you're like, oh, I want to lay in bed and play PlayStation. But who? I guess I don't understand what this is
Why you would
for.
need it?
Yeah, because it's just a second screen experience. That's all it is. It's all it is. You're the system's doing all the heavy work, and then it's just broadcasting the thing to you. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like it just buy a small TV and then glue a controller to it, and there you go. You know, like I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Hey James, how you doing, bud?
Only dumb people buy those anyway, so whatever.
You know, I think it's gonna be a fail. I think it's gonna be a fail. I think Sony, I don't know what they were thinking. Like they ran out of ideas for peripherals, and they're like, well, we got to release something, and so they were just like, fuck it, let's sell a small TV with controller sticks on the side. Like that's all it is. It's a small TV, right, with Bluetooth, so you're sending the signal, and then it has controller, like it's controller built in. So you, unless the thing's like $80, right, because a normal controller is like 60. So if the thing's $80 and you're like, well, it'd be nice to have a controller that has a screen, like, all right, I guess. But if you sell it at like $300 or 200, that's you. You're gonna, man, they're gonna lose a lot of money. It's gonna lose a lot of money. Anyway, so yeah, that the whole fucking place. Man, whatever. Speaking of games. Speaking of games, though, I'm curious your thoughts. So, Mortal Kombat 1 just released. Pretty good reviews. Everybody's digging it. They're liking it. Lots of stuff coming out about, like, you know, the first DLC pack's going to have, like, Homelander, Peacemaker, Omni-Man, all these guys. The Ed Boon, who is the creator of Mortal Kombat, was even talking how they got Megan Fox is in it to do, I think, one of the characters. I think she's doing.
Why?
I don't know. Because they think that's gonna sell more. They gave a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage, so, and they got some horrible impersonator to do it too.
At least that's more reasonable. But
yeah. The funny thing is, Ed Boon just went on record saying, because they were talking to him on an interview about like, oh, are you going to see more Hollywood people involved and whatever? And he goes, actually, funny enough, we were trying to get John Wick. They were trying to get Keanu Reeves to license them John Wick to be in Mortal Kombat, which I think would have been pretty badass. But he would not clear it. They said, you know, they wouldn't discuss the details of why it fell through, but they didn't make it happen.
He's going to COD.
Yeah, he's going to Call of Duty.
Under contract.
Well, he was on Fortnite. Remember, he was a Fortnite character. So
I don't pay attention to that shit. Yeah. That's for little kids.
But so here's the funny thing:
if they were smart, they would do Berserker.
Yeah, Berserker. That would be a good one. So here's the funny thing, or not the funny thing. This is the disturbing thing. So Mortal Kombat 1 is a technological achievement for the Mortal Kombat series. Only available on next generation console. You can only get it on the Xbox Series X or S. You can only get it on the PlayStation 5. You cannot get it on the Xbox One. You cannot get it on the PlayStation 4. But you can get it on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the crazy thing is, it is a $70 game on PlayStation and Xbox. And it is a $70 game on Nintendo Switch.
Is it really?
Yeah. And you're gonna love this. I gotta. You're gonna love this. I'm gonna set this up because I need you to see this.
Is that like the most expensive game on Switch? I think Switch games are like $50-$60.
Typically they're cheaper. Yeah, typically they're cheaper. Let's see. I want you to see this. So what I'm gonna pull up for you now is someone got a little early access, because like I said, the game's out now, but this was a couple days ago. Someone got early access and they wanted to show what it looked like on the Nintendo Switch. This $70 game, what it looked like on Nintendo Switch. So let me switch over here, and
Oh my god.
there's
That's
one.
how it really looks. It's not
Yeah.
like my internet or something.
No, it's not failing to load. That is on the Nintendo Switch. This $70 game. Here's another one. Here you go. If this doesn't give you nightmares,
Nice.
I mean, this looks like, you know, when they go like, oh, AI painted the image. This looks like an
Yeah.
AI generated image. This is a Nintendo Switch. And let me tell you something. The game is gorgeous. If you've seen it on PlayStation 5, on Xbox Series X, it is gorgeous. So these soulless dead eyes, and I don't know what the hell's going on with his hand. Here's another one for you. Here's just the ultra high definition. I think that's what, Katana, or no, that's
They just like couldn't like. Okay.
yeah.
That's sad.
That is a whole lot of Botox she's got injected. Not a single wrinkle in any of her skin. So that's pretty impressive. Let's see. Here's another one. This is just the flat facial and hair features. This probably looks the best out of all of them, to be honest. But yeah, it is. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a $70 game. You've paid $70 for this. Where textures aren't really loading in. I mean, it is.
It's too much for that crappy thing to freaking.
His eyes aren't
run.
even pointed in the same direction. I mean, he's got a lazy eye. Hey, this is. If you've paid $70 for this game, God bless. Get your money back, because that is just. And these are. I just grabbed some of the images. There's so many more that are absolutely just. I mean, it's lighting it up. Now, apparently, that was an early whatever, and they've patched it
Right.
so that it's much better now. But it's still crazy long load times. Because again, the Switch isn't designed to run
For
a
that.
game that's running on PlayStation 5. It's designed to run
No.
Zelda games and Mario games.
Can't process that. That's like when you're playing, when you're loading into freaking Warzone on the Xbox One
Yep.
X
Yeah.
or whatever the old one, regular Xbox.
Xbox One. Yep.
Yeah, Xbox One. You're like, we're all in the lobby slaying bodies, and you're like, oh, there's you join in, and it's like you're automatically like in the freaking plane getting ready to jump.
Yep.
You're like, there's a pregame lobby.
Yep. Yep. Phil says that looks like you're running it on some crappy emulator on your computer and the GPU can't fully support it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's not even a
It's like
console
watching the
because
sports bar on Sundays.
yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yes. That's good. That's good. Well done. Well done.
It's a throwback. You're welcome.
Oh man, that's good. What else? What else we got? So yeah, so just now going from absolutely atrocious to what I think will actually be pretty good. I've got a trailer to show you guys. Here, let me switch you over because I want you to see this too and let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna switch it to this. And I'm going to switch this to this. Where did it go? Where are you? There you are. All right. And now I'm going to show you the world premiere trailer for UFC 5. UFC 5. UFC 5. First thoughts, just looking at that.
Yeah, it's a little trailer they produce. Those are always great. It's like, yeah, whatever. They make everything look good. I
Fair
want to
enough.
see the gameplay. You go to the gameplay and it's like the same old crap. It's like
Fair
the
enough.
same
I
thing with
mean,
Madden in every sports game. It's
yeah,
like, oh,
they
it looks so good, and then you play it and you're like, this is the same exact crap.
they are sneaky because they put right there at the beginning is like game engine footage. So this is footage made using the actual game engine, which in theory means like, man, that's gonna look really good. But you know, the game engine can make anything look good, right? It's the actual gameplay that's gonna matter. So now I agree with you. I have seen some gameplay and I've seen some behind the scenes stuff. It looks better. It looks better. It plays better. They rehauled like the submission system and a couple other things. The one thing that they put a lot of time and effort into as I was watching these kind of behind the scenes stuff, the procedural body dysmorphification, like where if you keep getting punched in the shoulder, it gets redder and bruised and whatever. They said something like 380 unique like body injuries and how it affects and cuts and bruises and broken things. They have it where now a fight can be stopped due to injury. Like you see the doctor come in and he waves things off and whatnot. So they were showing off that, and you know, it obviously looks more realistic and you know, it like you said, like any sports game that gets a new iteration. I do feel UFC's been better at it because they don't do it yearly. They'll sometimes take 2 or 3 years off. So they're better at making things that matter, I guess, versus like a Madden that's going to just slight improve, slight tweak here and there. They have a longer life cycle. And then there was like the pre-order bonus. It was crazy because it's a UFC game, but like the pre-order bonus was like, you can bring in Mike Tyson. The one they didn't show there, but they announced during the actual gameplay reveal. Also, Bruce Lee is going to be a character. So you can have, it's like Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee.
I think he was in one of the other ones.
He was in one of the other ones. Yeah, he was in one of the other ones. But it's been a while since they brought him back.
So in funny story, please. UFC, the first one that came out, there's a secret character you unlock, and it's like this guy, and he's got camo paint on his face and stuff like that. He was actually my McMap instructor in boot camp.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's the whole story.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
I felt like we were going somewhere.
And he mentioned it too. Like he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the UFC game," and it's like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Do they have a "my balls was hot" add-on? I feel like I'm missing the joke there. My balls was hot. Yeah. He says, Keith says, Joe Rogan better be in this or it will be a non-starter. I mean, Joe Rogan has risen past a point where he needs to be in a UFC game. It would probably cost the UFC a lot of money to get Joe Rogan involved in the game. So I doubt it. I doubt that
he started out doing it for like free, basically, just to see the fights or whatever. And so he got whatever he wanted.
Yeah, he got his. Let's see. Anything else? I have a couple of other things. Yeah, the big push is brutal combat is what they're going with, you know, pushing towards to make it more visceral and real in the UFC game.
Is that going to the subscription, whatever it's called?
Oh, the Game Pass.
What is it called?
Well, Game Pass, games made by Xbox Studios go to Game Pass. So like Bethesda,
so this would go to the EA.
Yes, that would go to the EA thing. But even then, EA doesn't put it day one. Like it'll be 6 months after it releases. You'll find it on the EA Game Pass or the EA Play Pass, whatever they call it. Xbox is the only one that anything made by an in-house studio, like they bought Bethesda, or like they're trying to buy Activision, any of those games would be on the Game Pass day one for free, which is, well, again, not for free because you pay for Game Pass, but yeah. Last story we'll cover real quick, and then we'll take a short break. Actually, you know what? No, let's jump into the break. Is this something we can talk about either next time or after, whatever? When we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, let's play some games. I'm up for whatever, man. What are you feeling like, Mike? What do you? We could do any number of different games. What are you feeling?
I don't know. I'll beat you at whatever you want.
We could do there's guest espionage, like the classics are guest espionage.
Yeah, guest espionage is
or
always
murder
a good
house
one.
trivia. I think guest espionage because that's a simple enough premise that everybody can kind of jump on and play without. And the murder house trivia, man, that shit is just so random. So in the 1762 Constitution, on the fourth line, second word is like what? Who would know that?
Someone will get all of them right. And it's like, yeah, you're Googling it, you freaking cheaters. No way you knew that. Like, fucking, the guy in 1776 didn't know
it. The guy that wrote that shit forgot it. All right, guys. When we come back, we'll play games with you. So have your second screen experience ready, whether it be a phone, tablet, computer, or TV screen. Have it ready. We'll throw up the code. Join in. We'll have some laps. And we'll see if you have what it takes to beat me, the game master, the all-time champ, the greatest that there is. I'll put my title on the line, as always, because I'm just that kind of guy. All right, ladies and gents, we'll be right back with more after this break. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
After all I've done, do you love me now? Do you love me now? After all I've said, running through your head, do you love me now? Do you love me told you everything, I bet you cry and run away.
watching Pop Culture Warrior. The force is strong. They have the high ground.
Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Pop Culture Warrior. I am CQ. He is Mad Mike. We got some fun in store. If you want to play games with us, go to jackbox.tv, enter the code PQBP. That is Papa Quebec Bravo Papa. And we will get this thing a rolling. I see we have myself. I see we have Mad Mike. We have somebody by CQ Must Lose. All right, thanks for joining. Shelt. It's Shelt. Funny, you guys are funny. Let's see if we can't get one more, at least one more. Let me see if I can't get one more person to join us. Otherwise, it's gonna be just a beat down. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. Who enjoys watching a beat down? Let's see. Can I do this? Give me 1 second here. I'm doing this live because I don't give a shit. Anyone wanna join in some Jackbox games? All right. Jackbox.tv. Code is, what's the code? Oh yeah. PQBP. Excellent. PQ.
Watch CQP.
That's a different thing. It's a whole different thing. All right. If you are on, just hang on tight for 1 segundo, and we'll get this thing rocking. In the meantime, while we're looking for another player to join,
Peoples.
What's good, man? What's good? You got any? What's like the next thing you're excited about, man? Anything in comics and games and collectibles? Anything you're excited for? I feel like it's a slow time.
I saw earlier that Elder Scrolls will be in an Xbox exclusive. That made me happy.
Yep.
Xbox needs to do that more. PlayStation wants to try to take all that stuff, do it right back to them, baby.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a Bethesda property, and Bethesda now being owned by Microsoft is a good thing for a lot of reasons. And yeah, I mean, let's be honest, PlayStation has a lot of incredible, really good exclusives.
Like every freaking game is an exclusive. Oh, exclusive. It's like, get out of here with that shit, man.
Which is funny because then
crappy system.
Yeah, and then they went to court and were like, oh, Xbox can't own Call of Duty and Activision. That would be a monopoly. Then they'd have all the exclusives. And I'm like, Xbox got like 5 exclusives.
Yeah.
It is what it
Literally.
is.
What? How many you guys got? 799. Cool.
Yeah, man. You know, they got the market. Although I was reading earlier. I was reading about Final Fantasy, the company that owns Final Fantasy, and they released whatever it was the last one. I think Final Fantasy 16, I think was the last one. And the company lost it's a ridiculous, it's like $1 billion. Like just crazy amount of money between obviously the development, marketing of it, all the stuff that went into it, and yeah, like they said the which is what's the company, Equinox? No,
Let me Google it.
EQ. Oh god damn, I can't. Something with an E. Enix, Square Enix. Square Enix owns,
Jesus.
and they reported like just an absolute abysmal quarter, and a lot of people pointed directly at Final Fantasy 16 as being the thing. JRPGs used to be such a hot commodity, and I think it's one of those things where I think the industry ebbs and flows, right? Um, Call of Duty was the shooter, right? And then it changed and it became the battle royale, and then, that's when you saw the rise of like PUBGs and Fortnite, and then so obviously Call of Duty tried to match that with Warzone, and but like there's just I don't know, I remember there was a time where like the turn-based strategy game was really hot. And then, like, I know Telltale with the Walking Dead series, where like choose your own adventure style games were super hot. And then, and then indies were big for a minute when like games like Limbo and all that came out, where indie games were super in. But I do remember, like, I think Final Fantasy 7 was the pinnacle of like,
one.
that put JRPGs on the map.
It's also the time, like the system, and like that was as good as it can get for that. What they had. It's like now it's like no one wants to fucking see that shit. Like it's so annoying. It's like, okay, let's battle, and it's like, let's back out the camera, and it's like, your turn. 80 XP. Oh, okay, my turn. It's like, come on, man. I want to go up and I want to punch him in the face, like in the UFC trailer. I want to see him bleeding and call a ref.
I want to stab him. I want to just stick him, and stab him with my giant 18-foot sword.
That's why, like, Midnight Suns, I was all excited, and then when I saw it was in freaking JRPG, I was like, nope.
Yeah. It's.
I didn't like it when Final Fantasy came 7. I had my dad gave it to me for my birthday, and I was like, not into it. My brother played it and beat the shit out of it, but I was like, nope, this is gay. I'll go back to Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I mean, and like Grand Theft Auto. When I remember when that came out, like when it was the top down, it wasn't that big. It was popping or whatever. But when they went into 3D space and came out with Grand Theft Auto 3, that like damn near broke the industry, because from then on, we still feel it today. We still see it today in the open sandbox world. Like people forget, man, Grand Theft Auto 3 created the open, sandbox world. Yep. Games were linear. Games were, or if you had an open world, it was like a level that was open. It wasn't just drive to the end of Earth. And now we see it everywhere, as recently as Hogwarts Legacy. You know what I mean? Where it's this open world and you explore and you do missions and things like that. People forget, man, Grand Theft Auto created that genre of games. Even Call of Duty's not open world, although that's what they're trying.
Starfield, hello, that's all open world.
Yeah, open universe, open galaxies. But even that technically is not, because you load into levels and then there are boundaries. Like it takes you a while. You have to walk for like 5 minutes in one direction, but you will eventually hit a wall. Like you can't just walk around the planet. Like you have to, anyway, it's a whole thing. But like Minecraft, how that's procedurally generated, right? You just keep walking, it keeps going. But yeah, no, we've seen a lot of games like that. Whoever's hanging in there for the game, I think we won't do the game. We're gonna shut down the game just because there's not a lot of interest in it tonight, and that's okay. I kind of threw it up there last second, so we'll cut the game part of it. So whoever there is CQ must lose. I'm sorry, we're not gonna play tonight.
You lose.
You
We're not
lose.
playing.
I think that was Angry Elf. Angry Elf's reading The Last Ronin. Such a great the original Last Ronin, or no, because they haven't even done the sequel yet. I was gonna say it can't be the new one. The new one does it drop? No, it's October, right? I think the new one drops October. The new series, but okay, some things. What's a topic we can cover? What's a topic? What's a topic? Oh, speaking of Grand Theft Auto, there's a rumor going around. You're gonna like this, that Grand Theft Auto, after having been in development for at this point, what, like 10 years? It's been in development. Grand Theft Auto 6. There's a rumor going around that they will attempt to sell this retail at $150.
Jesus.
Not the special edition, not the ultra deluxe edition, the standard edition. The rumor, it's not official, it's not announced. The rumor is that it's going to go for $150 because the games cost them like $2 billion to make or whatever. So
that ain't my problem. Sorry about it.
So here's the story. Fans are worried that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cost more than double the price of a normal video game. Rockstar Games is responsible for creating some of the biggest, most successful games of all time. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 are in the top 10 bestsellers of all time, meaning you can likely expect Grand Theft Auto 6 to quickly make its way onto that list as well. The game is one of the most anticipated games ever and has been in the works for almost a full decade. Fans are eager to see what Rockstar is cooking for its marquee franchise, and leaks have suggested it will be huge. But we still have no idea to what end. However, a new rumor claims that the scope and scale could cost players extra. According to an insider, Grand Theft Auto 6 is rumored to cost $150 per copy upon release to offset its reported $2 billion budget. $2 billion. I get that games are getting more expensive to make. And I get that, they have to keep up with the technological demand of the systems they're going to be on. And I get that Rockstar has a reputation to uphold, right? And that it makes these amazing story narrative games that are just fully fledged. But $2 billion?
That's just
billion.
poor project management. That's what it is. It's like, what are you building, a VA hospital? For caddy?
The VA hospital doesn't cost that much shit.
No. Like, that's just insane. It's like, what are you... And it's going to be the same shit as the last... Like, I didn't even play the last one. It's always, like, similar crap. It's the same, like, cartoony graphics. Okay, you steal a car, whatever. Like,
yeah.
You punch people in the face and you rob them, whatever. It's the same crap. You got 800 Call of Duties that are like at least somewhat different, and they don't cost that much to make. I don't know what you guys are doing. You ain't doing it right, that's for sure.
I will say this: Grand Theft Auto will go down in history as like one of the greatest franchises of all time, hands down. That is not to say that it will forever remain on top. I do feel like we just talked about the ebbs and flows in gaming. I do feel there will come a point where people are just like, like you said, it's steal a car, shoot a guy, rob a bank.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only bend that narrative so long. And again, they really are and I think they know that to a point, because they're really they were bleeding the sucker dry of GTA 5. Like they have re-released it 16 times. They really want to it's almost like hedging their bets. Where like if the next one doesn't sell, at least we milked the shit out of that fifth one. But like they are investing a lot into changing the formula. Obviously, the core gameplay is going to be the same, right? It can't be now a flight sim, right? It has to be in its niche of what people expect. But like retooling the police response and retooling NPCs and how like it's generated on the fly and how they interact and like all these different things. But at a certain point, you've got, like you said, you got to evolve or die. And how does GTA do that without changing what it is? It's literally called Grand Theft Auto, but the game hasn't been really about stealing cars in a long time.
Yeah.
Like that's been the core gameplay in a long time.
And it's the same. I'm an up and coming gangster. I'm gonna work my way up. It's like, so
Yeah,
we've done it. We've done
Yeah.
it with a bunch of different people.
yeah,
I don't see how they're gonna change it.
yeah.
If you spend $2 billion to make it like VR on the Oculus, maybe, but I
It's a
still
great point,
wouldn't
man.
play it. I'm not
It's
gonna
a
buy
great
it.
point.
I'd
You
rather
know,
play Red Dead or something
I was
else.
just gonna say the same thing. Like at least with Red Dead, which it really is, it's just Grand Theft Auto set in the Old West. Like that's all it is. But it's different enough that you're like, okay, this is a new experience. I'm hunting and I'm fishing and I'm building settlements and I'm like it's a great and you want that great narrative story, you want the good action, all these different parts of it, but it maybe that's what Grand Theft Auto has to do is like almost do like the Assassin's Creed of like
Travel through time.
yeah, I was gonna say like this like Grand Theft Auto 1970. You know what I mean? Grand
You
Theft
just go
Auto
from wherever.
1776. You're just fucking running around on your. It's basically Red Dead. You're just running around your
Yeah.
horse and shooting colonists. The British soldiers. I don't know.
That would be something, I guess. Yeah, you just whatever. Like the dude steals a DeLorean and fucking goes back and like, oh, now you pick where you want to go, and you're like robbing people in the 30s, like
we've seen this so
robbing
many
banks.
times.
And, like,
No, but we've seen it so many times. Assassin's Creed, it hit a pinnacle, right? One of the greatest, games, and then it just kind of fell flat because people were like, "Okay, we've done it. We're tired of it." Putting it in a new desert, it doesn't make it fresh.
Just changing the skins. It's like,
yeah.
oh, we're pirates now. Oh,
Yeah.
we're revolutionaries now. It's like,
So we've seen it with them. We've seen it. Call of Duty got slammed for it a couple times, right? They so much to the point that they rebooted and went back to Modern Warfare because
yeah,
people were getting sick of the same shit. So let's sell them what they love. So like I can't imagine how hard it is to like you hit something good and like all right, then the sequels, hey, it's even better and better, but then it's like, but how do you can't keep topping yourself, you just can't, it's not sustainable. BioShock, when they first came out, one of the greatest, like it was so good, and then the sequel came out and it was like all right, same thing but better. And then God bless them, they were like the third one, let's fucking put them in the clouds. Like they tried too hard to that's such a delicate line to walk of like, how do you give someone more of what they love but not be repetitive and the same old, right? Like it honestly, I mean, that's a hard thing to do. I wouldn't want to be a project manager on this. Like, it's like, okay, we've got to give them everything they love and everything they want, but not so much that it's not innovated and doesn't change and doesn't give them something new and exciting. Like, how do you walk that tightrope? You know what I mean? When we talk about sports games, like you can't make the game better than what the game is. Football, right? So like, how do you innovate, pass and run the ball? Like, how do you innovate it?
and they're also in a bad situation because it's been 10 years or whatever.
God, yeah.
You said 10 years, right?
10 years.
So it's like, and they did so much with 5. It's like you should have just released 6, 5 years ago, and then
Yeah.
people would have bought it, even if it's like wasn't much different. At this point, it's like
Yeah.
you kind of screwed yourselves because you waited too long. You gave them too much with 5, and it's like, what are you going to tweak? And then you spent all this money and you want to charge $150.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
I think you screwed yourselves over because you could have failed on 6 and then like rebooted like Call of Duty, GTA, modern,
yeah.
whatever.
And then there's when you look at the history of games that have been in development a very long time, there's not a lot of games. And we're not talking about like Hogwarts Legacy was in development for 6 years. But again, that's an original game. They're building it from the ground up. When you're talking about a sequel, when a game has been in development, and I got to find the exact numbers, but I want to say longer than 5 years for a sequel, almost universally, it has not worked out. You look at like Doom, Serious Sam. What was Duke Nukem was a game that was in development for like 10 years. Like any of these games that just Cyberpunk was in development forever. Any of these games that have been in development forever, for some reason, it's almost like they're overcooked. Does that make sense? Like it looks like it's undercooked, but it's almost like it took so long. And part of me wants to believe it has to do with the console generations changing, because 10 years ago we were on the Xbox, whatever, 360 or whatever it was, or the original Xbox One or whatever. No, it had to be the Xbox 360 10 years ago.
360, yeah.
So you had to think, okay, when we start working on even if they were a console ahead and they got like a development kit, like a pre-release development kit. So, okay, we're going to build to this amazing Xbox One. And then it just kept developing. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're on the Xbox Series. You have to change a lot of the source code.
You got to redo everything, yeah.
You have to change a lot of what the bones of the... So many people, we've talked about this before, but so many people were like, why can't the VA's healthcare be better? It's like, because it's built on the bones of like CDOS, like the core code,
which is from the 70s.
Yeah, it's the green text.
It's like making Pong, but like, we're using the foundations for Atari to make Grand Theft Auto 6.
To play Grand Theft Auto 6.
Not gonna work right.
Basically what it
like
is.
That stupid the thing you just showed, Mortal Kombat on Switch.
On
That's
Switch.
what you're getting.
Yep, exactly. So think about how much money goes into like, okay, bringing everything up to next generation standard, and I feel like that ends up causing so many bugs and glitches down the line, so that's why we see games, it's cyclic in that games that are released at the end of a console's life cycle are always amazing. They're always so great because they were designed for that system from the start of that system. And obviously by the time it's released, it's like at the end of that system, but they're the most polished. They're the best, obviously the story's dependent and all that, but like the fidelity of it, the number of bugs of it, like all that is it's so tight and well done. And we don't see that with games that are early or games that we see. I don't know. I haven't seen a game that's lasted so long in development that's come out to rave reviews. I just haven't. Now, if anybody can do it, Rockstar could be the one, but I don't know. It's a long.
If they do it, when is this thing supposed to come out? This year?
It's still,
year?
So much of it has been leaked already, and it's still not coming out this year. Yeah, I mean, if they wait any longer, like they're going to announce the next consoles anytime now.
Yeah,
any day now. If not this holiday season, probably by next summer, we're going to get an announcement on the next consoles. Because already, I keep my ears open to the industry, and there's so many leaks happening, and the leaks always come out right before the major announcements. And a lot of leaks are coming out about the next Nintendo system, the next Sony system, and even the next Microsoft system, which they wanted. Like that was the whole promise of like the Series X, like it's going to double the shelf life of the system because we're going to be able to update it without actually needing new hardware. Like that was their big promise. But already insiders are talking about what the next system is down the line. It's the nature of the beast, right? It's the iPhone problem of like, it's the latest and greatest. Oh my god, my favorite thing I just saw. Somebody did a TikTok of it was like snippets of all the iPhone announcements, but it's the same sense of like this is the greatest iPhone we have ever created, and it's the same. It's like iPhone 14. This is the greatest, and it's almost the sentence structure is almost identical. We have never created, so we've never seen a handheld device this amazing. And it's just so funny when you see it over and over and over and over. And I mean, I get it. Naturally, this is going to be the greatest one you've ever made because you have better components and you know what I mean? Like, sure, technology advances. That's literally the nature of technology. You know, I could say that about my sneakers. I buy a sneaker this year. The next one I buy is the greatest sneaker they've ever produced, like because it's newer. You know, better manufactured. I don't know. Plus, who's going to release the iPhone 16 and go, you know, guys, man, I would buy it so fast. We really peaked on the 14. We really peaked on the 14.
Yeah.
This is just this year's.
We threw it out, you know. Old Bill had an idea and we just went with it, you know.
Yeah.
We thought we'd give him a shot.
Yeah, we're going to go.
It's average. Yeah. You got the Nokia, and then you got this.
Yeah.
I would buy it too.
Well,
yeah. We could have done more, but you know.
The iPhone, meh. We're releasing the iPhone, meh. Oh man, that would be great. I'd run out. I'd buy 10. Just because they're off their fucking rocker. Yeah. And again, that's, you know, talking about like how things died down. Eventually, they're gonna have to do something. They can't keep releasing the same phone. They just can't.
They can. They're freaking doing it all the time. They're not even doing anything different. They just
15 years in running.
It's the same phone. Everyone the same. They make a different color. They move shit around so it looks slightly different, but it's I guarantee it's the exact same stuff. No one knows what the G1922 processor.
It has 56 teraflops of chipsets, you know?
Yeah.
It's the latest and greatest.
X-ray, whatever. It's like no one
got
knows
the ray
what that
tracing.
shit is. It's not like we're like, oh yeah, I know how to identify that. It's not like you're looking at a car and you're like, oh, that's a V8 and that's a V6. You can't open up your phone and look at it and see what's in. It's just a chip.
You can't. You gotta love the buzzwords too. Like it's got accelerated ray tracing. You know, like, what is ray tracing? No,
Gorilla Glass, and it's like what?
Yeah,
gorillas make glass.
Hypertension acrylic ceramic glass. I'm like, I don't think those things are the same.
Glass. It's made by some kid in China. Like same glass and everything.
Tiny hands.
Search it up, dirt.
No, and then I love that the major selling point on this year's was the inclusion, the first ever USB-C port, and I'm like, that wasn't your decision to make. They forced you to do that. What the announcement should have said, and for the first time ever, we are bending to local legal requirements and including the USB-C port. Then I would have given them credit.
We lost our legal.
We fought so hard against this, and they got us over the barrel.
Their company in Ireland.
They have taken us down pants around the ankles, and they really forced us to change the port. And which is hilarious because if you know like insider tech, they are so against it. They are so like petty that the USB-C and one of the reasons why it's so great is because of how fast it charges, how fast it can transmit data. They have purposefully nerfed the USB-C port. It won't transfer at maximum capacity. They've capped it so that it will not transfer or charge any faster than a lightning cable. Like internally, they have literally locked it down because in their you can make us have the USB-C port. You can't make us have it work efficiently. And
not getting all the benefits.
And I guarantee you,
You know how much money they spent? I want to know how much money they spent to make it, to nerf it like that. You know, they did a lot.
they
They
put
probably spent
money into
way
that.
more than it was worth just to like stick it to people.
And you know why? And here's where they get to play the victim and the victor at the same time, because next year they'll release 25% of that nerf, right? They'll buff it 25%. This year's model charges 25% faster, transfers data 20, and it's like, dude, it could have did
Best
that
iPhone
last year.
ever made.
Yeah, the best iPhone, and it could have did it last year. You just didn't let it.
Yeah.
Like that's what
That's
they do
smart.
intentionally.
do,
They
yeah.
hold shit back. Wireless charging. It's on record. They could have did it 3 iterations earlier, but they're smart in that they go like, if we release all of these 10 new features on this year's phone, we have nothing for next year. So we're going to release one of them or 2 of them and work on the rest and keep developing them. And then next year, release 1 or 2 of them and then keep working on it. And so that way, like every year, they have this new great technology, this new great thing. So this year, they're hanging their hat on the USB-C. They've added the action button instead of having the little, instead of having this little clippy thing here, where where you flick the switch to do silent. They've made that an action button. So it's a click, and you can tell it what you want it to do. So default, it'll be the mute or the silent ring. So you click it and it's on silent ring. You click it again, it's on active ring or whatever. But it's gonna have multi-function, so you can have like single press will do one thing, double press will do something else, hold will do something else. So you basically get 3 actions, and then it's customizable. So if let's say you're a fucking, I don't know, a reporter, and you're like, I just want to do video or record notes, or like stand-up comedy, you like to record your set, you can have that be the audio record button. So you just click it and it's automatically audio recording. Or you could have that be camera shutter, right? The button to take camera pictures or whatever. So it has a lot of functions. So there's little tiny things like that, and the dynamic island at the top, whatever.
So stupid. I didn't even look. I didn't even read. I don't follow it anymore. I give up.
Yeah,
It's,
it's
like,
always
It's like, oh, and then we added another camera, and it's like, it's the same shit, dude. This
Yeah.
camera only does so much.
yeah.
It was like, oh, it's a new whatever camera. It's like the same camera the last time.
It shoots
It's
cinematic
literally the same
4K
pictures.
1080p IX
It's
6D.
the Ultra Eagle Eye. We ripped the eye out of eagles and we stuck it in.
We smushed them
we
down
wired
real
it.
thin.
We wired it with actual eagle nerves, so you see what the eagle sees, and you
Eagle
can
vision.
capture it. And it's
Welcome
like,
to
nah,
Eagle Vision.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
bullshitting me.
Yeah.
We added 17 of them.
If you've heard of horsepower, now you have eagle power. Every phone call.
I read with the cord thing too. I read like they were making an astronomical amount. I want to say, I can't remember exactly, but it was like $150 million a year on cords and shit.
Mhm. Yep. Officially licensed Apple product. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
insane. It's
Although
like,
the
pisses me off.
interesting thing too, and I wonder if this is. Here's the thing with Apple: a lot of great product, but like everything has almost this underhanded, sneaky thing. So I wonder what the twist here is. It's almost, remember the monkey paw? You make a wish and then you get your wish, but it has some like consequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be the greatest boxer ever, but like you're stuck forever in this one fight or whatever. So one of the features that the new phone will have, because of the USB-C's ability, is that your phone will act as a power battery. So if, let's say, like my wife's phone has 10% or 5% is dying, I can plug my USB-C to hers and it will charge her phone. So you'll give up your battery to bring up, or like they're saying for like the, the AirPod case or whatever, you want to charge your AirPods, you can do that. You can even charge other devices. But I wonder, like, are they doing it because because that'll damage the battery faster, and then they'll have to
Oh
upgrade
yeah,
to a new phone or something. There's some underhanded thing that they're gonna get away with doing that.
that's
Um,
exactly what it is. It'll deplete the battery faster, and they're
yep,
not gonna replace it, and it'll cost
yep,
you whatever $500 for a new one. Or you
and
can buy the iPhone 18 for
yeah.
seven
Well,
thousand
no,
nine hundred ninety
before
nine.
the 18, you remember, because you got to get the 15, then you got to get the 15S, then you get the
Yes.
then the 16, the 16SX, XS Plus Pro Max Ultra,
Yeah.
and then the
That'll
17.
be the catch. It's like you can only charge it if you buy the iPhone Pro A,
Yep.
AC.
And then another way for them to connect it is funny because they go with these new camera lenses and the way it's spaced out and everything. It's the perfect video to record to watch back on your Apple Vision headset because it records what's called like spatial video. So basically, when you watch a video, you're seeing it through one lens, but now with the spatial video, it's basically recording 3D video, and then you can't watch it back on your phone. You can't because your phone can't do 3D video. But if you have the new Apple Vision, because it's two different screens in your eyeballs, you'll be able to see video as if you were there, which again, for someone that might be like, holy shit, we're living in the future. But I think most people are going to be like, I don't need to relive the videos. Like that's,
I can just watch it in person.
yeah, like I
And
can
it's
watch a
real.
video and
I
I
was
get it.
there. I filmed
Yeah.
it. And it's like it's the same. What did you do? Put them in. The spatial cameras. What are they? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's like they're in the same spot in the same 1-inch square. Get the hell out of here!
You don't
Apple. I
know.
can make up words too.
And then what was
I
the
know
other thing?
synonyms.
I don't think you know. I don't think you do. I think that's a lie. Yeah,
You pay a lot of money for marketing people to write this.
Yeah.
Way more than any other company.
Pretty much. You got to know the money. I mean, I knock it, but here I am. I just bought a bunch of products. But I don't think you need
Yeah,
to.
because they overwhelmed you with free shit. But there's
Yeah.
people that buy it every year, and it's like
It's crazy.
dumb.
Yeah. I could
I
not.
don't understand it.
That's crazy. We have a friend of ours who will have 2 or 3 phones at any given time and upgrades them what seems like every 6 months, which I just don't understand. And then we'll
Yeah.
also plead like I'm broke. I'm like,
It's like
you got the Samsung
you get
S5
$8,000
Max
worth of
Pro
phones.
and an iPhone 22, which hasn't come out yet. Like, you can't claim broke
All
too.
on 32-year leases.
I'll have this paid off
You could-
after my house is paid off.
You don't pay your bill, they're gonna ship you over to China, and you're gonna end up making them in the freaking factory here. It's in the small print.
God bless. God
Labor
bless.
costs were increased.
Yeah,
We're
that's too
shipping you
funny.
over there. You signed the agreement.
Anyway.
Here's the
Um,
phones.
but yeah, so that's what we've got for you tonight. That was fun. That was fun. Very excited, man, because I got a lot of stuff in the works that I'm very excited to bring forward. Can't really talk about it yet, but also hoping this fucking strike ends, man. Because there's so many things I want to talk about. So many things.
It's not looking like it.
It's
don't
not going to
care.
end anytime
They
soon.
have so much money, and they're already raising rates. It's like
It's
if it does
so
end,
much money, man.
like
They-
they're gonna just transfer all the costs to us.
Yep.
It's like I'm not paying any more for these services. Like I barely
Yep.
watch. I watch one show on each one, and I'm not gonna have 10
Yeah.
and pay. I mean, they're everyone like was it what I have Paramount at Peacock. They were like $5 a month, and now they're running like $9. It's like that's
Mhm.
too much.
Isn't Disney up to like $15.99?
Yeah, Disney's raising it, but they own Hulu, and you can get like a package. So I
ESPN
guess
and
that's
all that,
fine.
yeah.
But in Netflix, they're all raising them. It's like
Yeah.
you don't offer anything.
Yeah. It's
Go back to cable. I'll watch my commercials, my soap operas.
Hey man, morning game shows, that's the shit, man. Get some Prices Right going, you know. Get some
I don't know.
it's
It's
good
gonna
shit.
be like baseball, where it's like you pay $50 for a hat because they freaking strike every freaking couple years. It's
Yeah.
like, sorry, you're gonna lose money. Like, yeah, you hold out, studios hold out, and you're gonna lose money. Netflix will be down.
Did you speaking of which, losing money, last thing we'll talk about real quick is not very pop culture related, but did you hear about the hack in Vegas? Did you hear about what's going on?
Oh yeah, was it
So
MGM or
yeah,
something?
MGM hotels, basically hackers get access to their servers, put in a bunch of malicious software, and the hackers tell them, pay us $13 million or we're gonna shut you down. And MGM's like, not gonna shut us down. We got this. And they have been shut down for like a week. And nothing's working because everything's all digital now. So nothing's working. They have like 8 or 9 different hotels that they own. They're all down. Then
Jesus.
come to find out, they weren't even the first. Other hotel chains came out and said, yeah, we were hacked too. They demanded $13 million and we fucking paid them. And they
Yeah.
left us alone. And it's like, great to be ethical hackers. I mean, they paid it up and didn't do anything, which is great. But now, like, MGM's losing, like, I think it was like $10 million a day. A day. So, like, literally, people are like, at this point, how far do you take it before do you go, all right, we've lost way more than we would have, which I get the ethical of conundrum of like, well, if you pay them, they might still hack you anyway. Or if you pay, like, how do you know? Or you pay
We tell
them,
other people how to do it or whatever.
yeah, or you pay them, they're still in your network, they're still within the thing, and then 6 months from now they can be like, give us another 13 million. So I get that point of it, of like, we don't negotiate with terrorists kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like, how much money do you lose before you just go, please, Mr. Hacker, give us our shit back?
They need to. I tell you what, get some insurance. Get hacker insurance.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. You know the funniest thing about it? Did you hear about how the hackers got access?
No, I didn't. I just saw like a headline that they were hacked, and that was
this. You would think some fucking like crazy hacker movie and his network of spies, and they're hitting the ones and zeros and pinging the thing. Nope. They called technical support. They used LinkedIn to find like a guy who works at the security systems, called technical support, said, hey, yeah, I'm Joe Bob. Can't access my shit, man. And just 10 minutes, 10 minutes later, had all of his access and were able to backdoor in and put in all the that's it. It took them 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I see. There was a thing like that's a common scam. It was like on 60 Minutes or something, and it was this lady, and she had all these recordings, like kids crying and yelling in the background, and that's what she would be like, "Hey, I'm whatever. I'm Pop Culture Warrior, and I have this. My bank is Wells Fargo, and I can't log in." And the kids are screaming, and the lady, like after like 5 minutes, she just gives her whatever she wants, and then she has somebody's like bank account, and then she like took all their shit, and they're like, "That's all you do?" And they're like, "Yeah,
that's it." Yep.
Well,
and unfortunately, like, there are procedures, but anytime you put a human element, there's going to be a weak link. Because think about it, if I'm a hacker, I'll call, don't get the result I want. Call back, don't get the result I want. Call back, and you just keep doing it. Eventually, you're gonna find that guy who's had a rough day, just doesn't give a shit.
And the Mad Mikes that don't give a shit.
You're like, what? You need a password or something?
You want all the passwords to the main accounts? Bet.
I won't say that I've signed off on legal documents without reading them ever before. Okay, I won't say that, but it is what it is.
Sign up for the Marines. I didn't read shit.
Oh man, so it is what it is. But yeah, that just.
That's why you gotta contract that shit out to India, because nobody knows what the fuck they're saying.
And also, they don't give
And
a
they don't
shit for your
care.
sob
They
stories.
don't
That's the
fall
thing.
for your
Like, oh my
stories.
god, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry, sir. You know, I my
I had to
16
walk
kids
20
haven't
miles to
eaten.
work. Yeah.
I don't give a shit about your crying baby. You know,
I
like, I'm here
leave
to-
2 days early to walk to work, and I almost die by people on bikes.
There's a tiger chewing on my leg right now as we speak, but I am at
There's
work.
cobras and monkeys throwing babies off the roof. You think I give a shit?
Oh man, but yeah, that's legitimately that's the
That's
thing,
crazy
you know.
though. They got to be so mad. They're like, they're like, that guy is so fired that
Yeah.
allowed them that access.
Yep. I
Poor
mean,
guy.
it
Somewhere
is-
making $15 an hour.
Well, that's that's the thing too, because these are the front. This is the infantry of your unit, right? This is the frontline guys of your team, and you're paying them the least amount of money, overworking the hell out of them, and then when there's a failure, that's you're gonna wonder cry into your $100 million bonuses that it ain't gonna happen because you didn't put the money where you should have. But back in the day, they put a shit ton of money.
Authentication.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they put a shit of money like into the bank vaults, you know what I mean, into the elaborate security systems.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, their digital systems are fucking archaic. They're like toothpicks and toilet paper.
It's because all these old bastards run it, and they have no idea. Like, they don't know what it is. They're just like, oh yeah, we put it in. We got the Glustrostomy 8000 whatever, and they don't know what they're paying for or what it does. They're just making the money.
Yep. So true. So true. But anyway, alrighty, guys. We're going to start shutting her down shop, shutting her down. Man, time flies when you're having fun. Do we have anything coming up? We just did Baltimore Comic Con. We just did Courage Awards. I think the next big thing is New York Comic Con. I think that's the next big thing, which is the big thing of the year. Although Mad Mike, I'm getting us press passes to San Diego Comic Con. I'm doing it. It's gonna happen. So start saving up the leave. Start doing what you got to do. Put it in the calendar. Pencil it. Circle it in.
That one?
San Diego Comic Con is what, June? I want to say June-ish, something like that. Let's see. San Diego. I've heard San Diego stands for whale's vagina. That's what I heard.
It does. It's
Yeah.
old Spanish.
Yeah, old Spanish Native American term for whale's vagina.
Spanish
July
or-
25th through 28th, 2024, which is awesome. Awesome.
You'll be here.
July 25th to 28th. It's got to be boiling hot in San Diego on July 25th.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I'll be in Alaska.
Well, good for you. It's a short little skipper flight from Alaska down to San Diego. You can make it.
I'll be on a cruise.
Womp, womp, womp. Well, I'm going to make it happen. And anybody out there that wants to join me, I see you, Angry Elf. I see you out there. Anyone that wants to join us, I'm making that happen. Come hell or high water, I'm getting Pop Culture Warrior live in San Diego Comic Con International. San Diego.
Isn't the cruise one next year too? That
This
or is that the
Comic Con
next-
cruise is 2024. Yep, it is. Let's see, when is that? I want to say it's like later in the year. Comic Con cruise. The Ultimate Fan Adventure. Comic Con the cruise. That is February. Oh wow, that's
That's
soon. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we had more time.
February 5th through 9th from Tampa to Cozumel. I don't know. I think it'd be a good time. I wonder if they do. Can you do press passes for a cruise?
Yeah, let's
I don't think
put
they
it
will.
in.
Comic Con the cruise. I don't know. I think. Oh no, that's 2025. February 5th of 2025. That's
Maybe
I
I'll
was
do
gonna say
that
that's
one.
soon, man. That is soon. Yep, 2025. So who knows, man?
Cool.
We can network. See if I can't get. I'm gonna try and get on that cruise. 25. I don't know, man. I feel like it could either be really good or just really bad.
Really bad.
Um,
I
and
think I can
who's to
make it
say?
work if there's like drink packages, but otherwise, I think I would be like, I get to Cozumel and I'll be like, I'll take a flight home. Like,
Oh man, that'd be
I'm
funny.
good.
You're like, yeah, I've done enough. I've had enough of this. Alrighty. Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight and talked a lot of nonsense about a lot of stuff. But there are other shows around here at WTF Nation Radio. Let's
Way.
pull up a graphic here and let's talk about it. So on Sunday nights, you have the Sports Bar with King and Coach, and the show's, I mean, doing really well. I mean, just getting great reviews, great numbers, and currently there is a listeners league, a fantasy football listener league that myself and Mad Mike are both part of.
Aren't you, what's your record? Are you 0-2 on that league?
One of us isn't doing very well.
All right, they got like the Jets. They call you the Jets.
The Jets got to win. I mean, my God, pick a team that
The
has
Cardinals.
2 losses. Yeah, the Cardinals. Yes, because I'm faking it. I'm phoning it in. That's why. Yeah, it's not, I don't want to talk about it. My team's doing so bad, and I don't even have. You know, like when you're like, well, I had Saquon Barkley or I had Nick Chubb, and I have no reason why I'm losing. No
And
legitimate
we got
reason.
this one person, Annika, that's auto still. She got to win against me because I got screwed. But anyway,
Oh,
she's 1-1, and
Yeah.
you're 0-2.
And I have
It's
no
still
excuse.
early, though.
I have no
Yeah,
excuse.
it's early.
My team will turn it around. We'll turn it around. I'm not worried.
You
and
know
if
it's
I-
bullshit when Smith's leading it.
The actual King Smith. Let's see. Monday nights, you've got the Monday edition with Ice and my good pal Massey over there doing their thing. We gotta have Assy.
Cassie, what is on your mind, sir? I come back and they just mess you all up.
We gotta have Massey come back on the show once. We haven't had him on here in a while, but I like Massey. He's a good dude. That's Monday nights. They're talking all about the news, commentary, discussion about the day's events and what's happening in the week. Tuesdays, right here, Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Mad Mike, telling you all the fun, we're all the silly stories. I always say we're the silly stories of the week. Nobody cares about. Wednesdays, you got Radar and TZ over at the Smoke Pit for all you lower enlisted. That's your smoking and joking spot. That's where they are treating y'all the best. Thursdays, Ice and who's his mom? No, it's not Mom. Spanky. My God, I was drawing a blank. Ice and Spanky on Sergeant's Time Thursday nights, giving you all of your military news and what's happenings. And then closing out the week is Friday Night Freedom on Friday night. That's with Kaz and Pookie, and they are just I don't know. What do you, they're them. They're they. They're the ones that they're the catch-alls. They're the ones that are just giving you everything else that we haven't. I'm tired. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
very. Me
I'm
too.
having Starfield withdrawals. I don't know if you can tell. I'm sweating.
You're like
I'm
sweating. You're
itchy.
like, oh man, I've been in zero gravity in so long.
Gravity feels a little heavy on me right now. I'm just, yeah. I mean,
I could be mining.
bitch,
more
I left my.
storage.
I am a space pirate who's also a Freestar Ranger captain who's also a secret double agent for UC SecDef, who's also a member of the Collective, a constellation group of explorers, who's also married to someone who is in the House of Varun, who was a secret agent. So I got a lot. I got a lot going for me. I got a lot going for me. I got things.
Fucking stolen valor is what I hear.
First of all, if I'll have you know, I was a ranger in the colonial wars. Okay, and you will respect my rank. Okay.
Sure.
I was there. I was at the battle of what was the one? Is it a T2 or whatever the hell the name?
I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Big Shot.
I was there. Okay, I was one of the shock troops.
14 up right now.
I was one of the shock troops. I was the RD day, man. I was there.
Position at the head of the local VFW. You're done, son.
I will thank you for that veteran discount. I will.
No more free Applebee's.
You're welcome for my service, my space service. I'll have you know.
You bought every ribbon in the PX.
You're welcome for my star service. Oh man, God bless.
Anyways, I played for like an hour. I think I got I'm still in the intro. And you know what really pisses me off?
Yeah, please.
I told you already, but I didn't. It's fucking pronouns in the goddamn game, and I was trying to blow through it, to just because I'm not gonna spend an hour making my character look like whatever. So I blew through it, and I got this dude or whatever, and he kind of looks like me or whatever, as good as he can get. I mean, he's not gonna be this handsome, but knockoff Wish version. But now they're guys, I didn't change the preset pronouns, so everyone calls me she. I'm like, motherfucker, dude. I'm like, whatever. It's the future. Whatever. I identify as a woman, I guess, and I look like a man.
I just
so depressing. Got this manly dude, and they're like, we can't leave her here alone. I'm like, God damn it. So I get for skimming the details.
I'm like, it's such a Marine thing to do, to just underhandedly insult you at every chance they get. Where it's almost like this passive aggressive, okay, yeah, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. I'm not gonna leave her out there alone.
Chainsaw and a fucking tank over here. I got this.
Are your delicate nails gonna be able to handle this? You don't want to get your fragile little weak body.
I forget, and then the dialogue will come, and it's always 2 or 3 sentences in, and then all of a sudden it's a bam, and I'm like, wow.
Every time.
You can't change it. You got to start all over. And it's I only have so much time to play. I'm not gonna spend another hour doing all this shit to reset my thing.
He's angry upset. So Starfield is woke as fuck.
Yeah.
He's leading.
When you set your character after 20 minutes in the fucking thing, when they finally let you do it, make sure you freaking set your goddamn pronouns. Just glad I didn't go with the mohawk dude with the tats and shit.
Oh man. It makes me so happy. You have no idea. It makes me so happy that every time you play that game, you are referred to as she and her. Oh, that just tickles me in a way that nothing else can.
Just I just wish I could feel like this in real life.
The actual King Smith says he thinks you actually can change it, whether it be in the settings or because I know there's a in game there's a thing where
I don't know.
Yeah, in game there's a place you can go to change your look. I don't know if that's also a place you can change your pronouns. I don't know.
Maybe that's where it is. I haven't gone there. I'm still I went to the one place where the guy's trying to recruit you so hard. Oh, join the whatever, the United
join the UC,
States, fucking
it's the United Colonies. Hey, soldier, get your shit together. It's the United Colonies. The UC.
It's okay, I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness. Get the fuck out of here. You gonna knock on my door every fucking day too? Jeez, chill out, bro.
I want to be space Amish. No technologies. They're just me in a buggy, a horse and buggy on the moon. We don't believe in that technology here. What are you breathing out here?
It's like a what is it? horse that flies.
Yeah. Fucking, well, yeah, what is a horse that flies? Not a
From
unicorn.
Greek mythology
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, what is the name of the horse that flies? Shit.
You can't even have that because it's not real. Whatever. I'll just
Yeah.
have like a bunch of freaking bald eagles pulling my thing,
Yeah.
flying through space.
Space slugs, man.
Little space masks over their heads. Like, Mosh. We can't hit warp speed or it's gonna be a while.
I will say, okay, there's one, I'm not gonna spoil the game for anybody, but there's one random occurrence somewhere out there in the galaxy where it's so funny, because this ship appears out of nowhere and you're like, holy shit, this ship looks like nothing else you've ever seen. You can't communicate with it. The comms are not working and everything. So like you dock onto the ship because you're expecting like, oh, it's some type of alien or whatever. And everybody's freaking out and you're like, well, we're gonna have to fight it out because whatever. And then you open the door and it's a bunch of humans and you're like, they're like, why didn't you communicate with us? We're trying to, but our technology is not connecting to yours. And you're just like, where are you from? And you find out that it's basically, remember the ship from WALL-E? It's basically a ship that left Earth before the shit hit the fan. Like they realized, well, we're done here. But with the technology that they had on hand at the time, it was basically like taking a ferry. It was like, and then what happened was humanity evolved the warp drive. So what happens is the time it took them to get from Earth to where, we are now, took them like 200 and something years of travel, where like humanity 50 years ago developed warp technology and basically beat them there by 50 years. So it's like, you know what I mean? So like our tech is so advanced and you find out like these are like the people you meet are like the third generation. Like the first generation people died on the ship and then they had kids. Yeah. Those people died on the ship and they had kids and they're who running the ship now. So like they haven't seen humanity outside of their families in, 200 years. And now everybody's like, bro, I can hop over to Starbucks on another galaxy real quick and be right back if you want. And these guys so they're like the Amish of space. Like they're running on this old tech and it's hilarious.
There's like these UHF signals. Like,
yeah, there's a guy in the back cranking the engine to make it go. Yeah. But it's so funny to me.
It's like they could do so much with that.
Yeah,
like all fucking inbred and shit. Like it's like it's like Alabama. They're all yelling roll tide.
It's Alabama.
Roll tide.
Somebody's like, it's hot in here. Let me open the window. And they it's like, damn it, 300 years wiped out like that because you got that one inbred idiot. It's like, let me go for a spacewalk.
Mountain Dew and like, oh, look at our meth. It's so advanced. Your teeth doesn't fall out now.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that's funny. I'm like,
awesome.
How pissed you got to be. We're at the end of a 200-year journey. You're like, we did it. We made it to the other side. And there's like a Starbucks set up because like they kind of like, yeah, we've been here for like 50 years, man. What do you
guys like warp driving on a Vespa?
Pretty much, man. The technology is just way advanced, but anyway,
guys aren't using diesel.
The Amish of space. Oh man. Alrighty. Well, this has been fun. I'm gonna go play some Starfield because that's what I'm gonna do.
See you in 7 hours. I get work in the morning.
I'll be fine.
Oh my god, work's starting now. Okay.
That's never stopped me before. All right, guys. Well, hey, this has been a blast. Thank you for tuning into Pop Culture War. Obviously, lots of new stuff coming at you very soon. Strike be damned. We got lots of good stuff coming. More with me, more with Mad Mike. I'm CQ. This is Pop Culture Warrior, and I'll leave you with a tiny bit of knowledge from one of my old first sergeants who said, don't eat Cheetos and touch your pecker because it'll turn your dick orange. Good night, everybody. Cats.
Oh, no! We're too late! We missed it! Oh, jeez, this is heavy. Ah, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Doc, I got a time machine. I'm just gonna punch in the coordinates. Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WTF Nation Radio. Now crank this bad boy up to 88 miles per hour.